Well, hello there, my name is Vladimir, welcome to my studio. Today we're checking out the Harley Benton SE Custom in Ocean Flame. Harley Benton is something that's gathering a lot of interest over the internet, so to speak, as the kids say, I think, maybe, most likely not. And the reason is that they are really affordable, yet the quality is pretty good. And right away I have to say that the SE Custom is no exception to that. First of all, it's a fairly traditional single cut look, has kind of classic headstock, classic block inlays and stuff like that. This shape and the control layout reminds me more of that certain Japanese company more than the American company that produces single cuts, and it's basically your personal preference which one you like. This basically has kind of more access over here. There's a nice cutaway over here. Let's go to the, I want to call it details cam, and yeah, you can hopefully see, no, too much reflections. Yeah, basically there's a nice cutaway and it does make accessing the upper frets a little bit easier. There's still a lot of kind of neck joint over here, so it's not like a super ergonomic shredder guitar, but it's pretty good. It's a mahogany body, mahogany neck. There's a nice scarf joint over here. Again, let's try out the details cam. Might be too dark, but you can kind of see where the kind of this part of the neck begins and the headstock part ends, or the other way around. But yeah, a nice looking joint. I kind of like it that you can actually see it through the paint. It's called a volute type of thing over there. And the spec says that this is a quadruple A flame maple top. I don't know the A grading too well, but I'm pretty sure this has to be a veneer. No way you can have an actual full maple top on a €200 guitar. I might be wrong. If you know more, prove me wrong in the comments, but I'm going to guess it's a veneer, and that's completely fine. It looks really good. Let's put it here again. Hopefully you can see. Yeah, it's just a really good looking top with this beautiful ocean flame finish. I'm guessing the flame comes from the flame maple top. There's a nice scarf on top of it, and just there's a belly cut as well over here. I don't know if you'll be able to see that. Yes, you can. There's a belly cut over there. It's just a slightly more ergonomic single cut than what that American company produces. It's not a light guitar by no means, but it's not too heavy either. I think it has like a nice convincing weight to it. The fretboard is made out of something that's called Jatoba. I hope you can see it over here. It's kind of, to me, it looks like a mixture of ebony and rosewood, basically. Just looks nice and classic. There's a binding around the body, there's a binding around the neck, side dots. As I mentioned, nice classic looking block inlays, standard 3-way toggle switch. These controls function in a way that this is the neck volume, this is the bridge volume, and there's a kind of overall tone, which is also kind of functions as a coil split thing for both of the pickups at the same time. If you happen to watch my unboxing video, you saw my surprise when this actually came with strap locks. I am not familiar with these strap locks beforehand, nor will I actually try them, but I think it's a really nice bonus to have. Something that surprises me is that the Fusion Custom, which is like €100 more expensive than this one, doesn't come with strap locks. So I don't know how they kind of define the price ranges and features on these guitars, but anyway, it's a nice touch on this one. I like it. Standard Tune-o-matic style bridge and tailpiece, or bridge and tailpiece this way. And yeah, it's a fairly standard kind of single cut in every single way. Nice looking chrome tuners, another looking ones, and they're slightly crooked, especially this one, but nothing too kind of major. It's not going to affect playability or tuning or anything like that in any way. And nice headstock inlay. I like it. Again, it's classic, and I like the new Harley Benton logo. Just a nice classic looking guitar overall. Comes with two Rosewell humbuckers which have Alnico 5 magnets in them. As I mentioned before, coil splittable. These are supposed to go for some kind of vintage style of sounds, but I'm not 100% sure if they are actually like that vintage sounding, to be honest. For the past 2 weeks or so that I've had the guitar, my overall experience with this has been pretty positive. In the unboxing video I mentioned that I wasn't getting along with the neck shape that much. I've gotten more used to it, but it's still not my thing, because it's a lacquered neck and also because this has like a thin C shape, and even though it has like medium jumbo frets, it still feels a bit kind of odd for me to play, because my guitars have thicker necks or V-shaped necks or something like that. But I got used to it enough for me to be able to play it just fine. Even with slightly crooked tuners and not such nice looking nut, it looks a bit weird color wise, and it's not completely centered, anything like that. The guitar stayed in tune just fine, and just overall the playability, the tuning stability, the sounds, all of that for a €200 guitar are just remarkably good. And speaking of sounds, let's check out some of the sounds, starting with the Boss Katana, which I'm kind of recording through a line out, and it's on a clean setting. All of the reverb comes from the amp. Let's select the middle pickup thing. Neck pickup. Bridge. Let's check out the coil split. So as you can immediately tell, the coil split is pretty usable. There's a pretty significant volume difference between the coil split and the full humbucker. But that might be something that you want to use as your advantage or for your advantage, because if we go to the Rev Dynamis, which is set on a kind of crunch-ish sound, here's the coil split on the bridge humbucker, and then you kick in the humbucker. So you can use it for that kind of stuff as well. Or for example, you can also use the volume controls. So if we back down the neck pickup, so that's one way to use two separate volume controls. Overall, I do think these pickups are a bit muffled sounding. Not too bad, but I did have to tweak a little bit to be able to record all of the sounds in the track in the beginning. They could be a bit brighter, but on the other hand, it's a €200 guitar, and I still feel these pickups are better than most of the budget guitars have, and yeah, just they're decent sounding. Actually, just for the sake of it, let's compare this guitar, and then I have my own VHC custom here, which has like kind of vintage style shape tones. I mean, the body construction isn't exactly the same, but just for the sake of it, let's do a comparison. So you can hear that there's a pretty big difference between the two guitars. But again, for the price, these sound good, and I mean, the body construction is different, so this kind of feel, to me at least, feels like it's outputting a bit more low end and stuff like that, and just kind of heavier, kind of thicker sound, and that might be exactly what you're going for, so yeah. Let's bump the gain on the amp and check out some heavier sounds. And last but not least, let's check out some metal sounds. Here's the sounds without the Rev G3 that I have on the floor. So yeah, it does the metal thing well, and kind of personally, let me take that off so it doesn't bust. To me personally, this guitar feels more like a kind of rock/metal guitar. The pickups and just the overall sound of the guitar is a really kind of in your face. It's thick, heavy, and it's really good for kind of heavier stuff. I don't enjoy it as much in kind of really low gain things. Maybe it's just me, but it doesn't have the kind of softer dynamic range that I like on that other guitar, for example, that you just saw. But for the rock metal thing, this thing sounds really good. It still has a classic look, and maybe like with a kind of Marshall style amp or something like that, this would be absolutely awesome for classic rock stuff as well. But for me personally, that's my preference. Maybe you have this guitar as well and you are using it for something completely else. If you do, let me know down below in the comments. And if it's not clear yet, I like this guitar a lot. It does have like minor things here and there. The nut might probably use a little bit of work. The pickups are a bit muddy for my taste and things like that. But overall, for 200 euros, you're getting a lot of guitar, so to speak. It was playable right out of the box. I haven't done any setup to it, just took it out of the box, tuned it, recorded with it, and yeah, and it just works. Simple as that. The budget guitars nowadays are crazy good, And yeah, if you want to get your Harley Benton SE Custom in Ocean Flame, follow the link below in the description. I think there's other colors available as well. If you like this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up. Leave a comment down below, let me know what you think, ask any questions you might have. If you want to support what I do, get yourself a Catpic Studios t-shirt, link below in the description as well. And if you haven't subscribed yet, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell as well. Thanks for watching this video, I shall see you next time!